Hello, everyone, and welcome to High Vibe Times with Ashley and Teresa, raw and unfiltered. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today, Teresa?
I'm doing really good today. I'm feeling good.
Good. It is so. I keep looking because the wind outside right now is absolutely nuts, and my trees are just literally going like this, and so I keeps I need to focus because
We
it's.
had that yesterday. Yep.
All right. So today we're going to talk about something a little interesting is how we approach our health from an energetic woo-woo side of things. And Teresa and I were talking about this earlier about how we have a lot of similarities on how we approach health, but also some differences. And so, how do you tune into your body and your health if something's going on?
Well, the first thing that I have to say is that I try to keep the things that I put in my body from altering it in any way. I try to keep that at a minimal. So, I have to take a vitamin D on a regular basis because of my kidneys. So I take minimal, I have to take a thyroid and a water pill. And so the minimal pharmaceutical stuff that I put in my body. And so that way there's nothing altering the way my body is by itself. I think that's important because then when you tune into it, you're actually tuning into your body and what your body is feeling. And I, I think that for me, that has just come from being able to quiet my mind, being able to, when something is wrong, being able to kind of feel into that or tune into that and being accurate with it. Like you'll end up having to go to the doctor for it, and they may even tell you something different, and it ends up being exactly what you feel it is. And so that kind of builds that confidence in knowing yourself and your body and what's going on with your body. So I think that was my first step in doing it.
Mhm.
um yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Same here. And it's interesting, we were just talking about healthcare too, and I have or had a wonderful chiropractor who, after a certain amount of time with him, I would come in, he would say, "What's the problem?" I'd tell him, and he would sort of chuckle like, "Mm-hmm." But it's exactly what you were saying, and it would be it. So finally, after a couple of times doing that, he would just stop, asking me, or he would stop testing me because he did resistance testing, and I would just say, "It's this." And he would test it, and sure enough. And so, like, you build that trust, the more that you listen to yourself and get quiet. And again, you have to have a practitioner, whether it's chiropractor, massage therapist, doctor, MD, DO, whatever doctor you go to, that is willing to set their ego aside a little bit to
mhm.
allow you to say, "Hey, this is going on with my body." And he would say multiple times to different people, Ashley is so in tune with her body. Ashley is so in tune with her body. And I think it's because um, I think it started with back problems and yoga, honestly, because I had to be so focused on what I was doing on the mat to make sure that I wouldn't hurt myself.
Yeah.
And so that sort of started the process. And then I just
Oh, yeah.
really paid closer and closer and closer attention to how I'm feeling and where I'm feeling it. And I think that's why I was drawn to EFT and tapping because it is emotions that are like blocking it and it's causing a physical response. And so those times when I couldn't figure it out, I've now figured it out that it was probably emotions that I needed to get through and that kind of thing.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it is a matter of listening to yourself. And I know there's always been a push, but specifically recently about people, especially women, advocating for their health.
Mhm.
Because so many times we're just told, "Oh, it's this," or "Oh, it's that," or "It's just whatever," and deep down, I don't think that's right. And we have to continue to advocate for ourselves and stand up for ourselves. And a lot of us are now taking care of or getting ready to take care of parents, and we're going to have to advocate for them too.
Hmm.
So a lot of that is just sort of stepping up and feeling into yourself and how you're feeling and where it is in your body.
Hmm. Yeah. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about what we do when we feel something that may be coming on or something that's in our body that may be happening. Um, I know that I have a couple of different things that I do. One of them that I do pr- on a more consistent basis is if I'm meditating, which I will do on at least a daily basis, if not a couple times during the day. But if I find that there's a spot that is hurting or something's going wrong, I'll, in my meditation, will just send energy and love to that spot. And that seems to really work, when you tap into the earth's, and that's why I love tapping into the earth's energy because it's so strong and you can use it for your benefit. But you have to be tapped into that and know how to kind of direct and guide it to that spot. What are some of the things that you do, Ashley?
Same thing. And I also ask, especially because I journal a lot, and so especially if it's something that I can't figure out, I may do a free write. Say, okay, what emotions are coming up? What emotions is this? What's happening here? Why is this pain not going away? Or that kind of thing. And I will let you tell your story, but you introduced me into gosh, I don't know. I think we had just like really started hanging, being friends and talking a lot. And I'm not sure exactly if I had a cold or I'm not sure what was going on. But you were just like, use your team, use your little minions. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Use your minions. So you want to explain what you were talking
So I have this I in my mind and in my mind's eye, I have this little team, and everyone's team can be different. I've had one-on-one clients where all of my one-on-one clients are women, so I've had one-on-one clients where their teams were the the firemen from the fireman calendars, you know.
Hey.
Really sex. Mine happen to be a little minion guys. But anyway, they are kind of asleep and they're like I use them for helping me clear my chakras, and I also use them for helping me with areas in my body. There's a lot of times that I will, in my mind's eye, and I don't know, it feels kind of silly for me to talk about, but in my mind's eye, they're all in little bunk beds, in my head, they're all up there in my head, and I go around and gently wake them up with energy, and then I just kind of send them off with, the instructions of healing anything in my body that shouldn't be there or needs to have attention. And I don't, it's really funny because I have arthritis in my body. I'm stage 4 kidney failure, and knock on wood, I feel better at my age now than I have my entire life. And I think that is due to calling in my health team and calling in my team and allowing that energy to really heal my body. Even my kidney doctor has no idea how I went from the top of stage or in the middle of stage 4 to the top of stage 4. It went backwards where he's never even seen that. And so I attribute that to my team and them going in there and literally taking the bad cells and transforming them for me. I believe in that. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and it's been a long, when we talked about doing this today, I thought, oh, it's been a long time since I set them off. And what I heard in my head was it's okay because once you put them in action, and give them the energy that, every once in a while you may need to recharge them, but once you set them off doing what they need to do, it's something that you really don't have to do on a daily basis. And so, yeah, it was kind of validating for me when I thought about that today. So, yeah.
Well, mine are little army men, like G.I. Joe men, and what comes into my head are from Toy Story, where they're still on the little thing and they're walking like this, and so they're I don't know, and I didn't have G.I. Joes or have a brother or anything in my life, so where that came from, I have no idea. So
Mhm.
that's the reason why I'm like, well, it's energetic universe, whatever, telling me you got some little, army, your health army. That's what I call them, a little health army.
Hmm.
And I call them in as well. And I also, and I feel like, well, I know, that I was a medicine woman in a previous life,
Hmm.
and a healer in a previous life, and probably several lifetimes. But I know I have healers on my team, and so there are times where, I will call specifically on the healers that are, I mean, they all are looking after me and guiding me and all that stuff, but I have just a couple that I can feel that are specifically there for health purposes. And so I call them in as well, if I'm not, feeling the greatest or need some
Yeah,
assistance.
yeah. And
Mhm.
I think it is very helpful for me. And when I don't feel like I'm getting everything I need, then I reach out to the people here, that, like my daughter-in-law does a lot of herb things, so I'll reach out to her and say, hey, this is hurting or this is bothering me, and and you do a lot of herb
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah, I search out that natural, ability to be able to do or to take care of it, and my team. And it's, I don't know. I like I said, knock on wood, because I'm feeling pretty good and doing good. So they're doing good, and yeah, it's definitely something to try.
Yeah. So if you guys out there watching, you want to try that out, call in your health team, see what comes to you. See if you got minions, see if you got the firefighter calendar guys, or if you have, the little Army GI Joes or something completely different. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, well, I'd love
Um,
to know whatever. It's fun to
yeah,
know
I know, I
what comes
know.
up. Hmm.
So I pulled a card for us today from The Soul's Journey from James Van Prague, and so I had shuffled. And this card popped, and I said, "What the hell? What does this have to do with what we're talking about today? Like, this is not the card." So I shuffle again. Here it comes again. And I'm like, it's not the card. I don't know what you're doing. Is this for me personally? Or this is a card reading for Teresa and I, high vibe time today. I'm going to do this again. And so I shuffle again. Third time, I said, well, I guess it's it. So here's the kicker. I didn't read the whole thing. So the card itself says blame.
Hmm.
See, that was my face. Like, how does this have to do with what we're talking about today? And at the bottom, it says, I accept responsibility for my well being.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I'm done.
Drop them.
I'm done. I mean, I hadn't even read the book because I mean, there's really not it. But when I finally read that second sentence, what comes to me is not only are we are responsible for when we're not feeling well, we are responsible when we're feeling good as well, right? So
Hmm.
like, you and I've had this health discussion for a very long time. Your group is about health and losing weight and feeling better about yourself health wise. And one of the things we've been talking about in your class is that we got to do small steps now to reap the benefits later, right? It's not, I mean, yeah, you can go all in and that's one way to do it, but we can also start doing little small steps, and we are responsible for ourselves, for our own well-being.
That's right.
And having this discussion about how you use energy, how you use your team, how you use your little health army or whatever you want to call it, that's helping, that's you're taking a responsibility as well. So not only after you feel good, but as you are still feel good and continuing to feel good as well.
Yeah. What was coming to me as you saying that was being proactive with it,
Yes.
being a step ahead of it,
Hmm.
and making it so that you don't have to face those challenges as much,
Yeah. Yeah.
just kind of
But three
staying on
times,
top of
y'all. Three
it.
times. Three times. I got you. I hear
Well,
you.
and what I just got from that is, by not doing this, the only person you have to blame is yourself.
Mm, mm,
So,
that's
yeah.
true. That's very true.
So
Yeah.
try it out, guys. See if it doesn't make you feel
That's
better.
right.
Honestly.
Let us know. Let us know.
Yes.
As you know, Teresa and I both have Facebook groups. We have different programs. Our information is down below in the description. Feel free to click down there and see what we have to offer. And I hope you do try this out. And if you do, leave us a comment, leave us a like, subscribe, and let us know. And if you have any suggestions on what you would like to hear from us on topics, also feel free to leave us a comment. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. See
Bye,
ya.
everyone.